You know how a woman demonstrates love for me? By receiving me. You know, sometimes hunters, they put like a trap, and it's like some kind of hidden receptacle, and it catches you. It's a trap. There's a form of container, but it's a trap container. And sometimes women, they use that, they pretend that they're listening and they pretend that they're available because they know that men want to give or empty themselves. So the woman plays the game as she plays the game. I hope this is not coming across as something negative. It's just what it is, right? So she plays the game that she's interested. She plays the game that she's receptive, is the key word. She plays the game that she wants to receive this, but really she doesn't care. It's a smoke screen. It's a form of mirage that's in a way perceptible. You have the impression that somebody's receiving you, but she's really on the side of herself, waiting for you to get caught in this illusion of being received and loved, and then she puts her fangs in you and consumes you. So for me, the experience of receiving love from a woman is that she's present. Presence can only be expressed when one is relaxed. So the context or the circumstances of relaxation must be there, unless we try to fake it or hack it. I'm not into faking or hacking. So what's necessary for relaxation has to be present so that both parties, but now I'm speaking about women, relaxes. By relaxing, she comes down into herself. She gets out of her mental world where she's constantly trying to have the upper hand, and she comes down into herself. It is literal. And she's there, and her feminine essence, its way of expressing love is by receiving. So suddenly there's a place to receive me, and I can feel it. So as a man, if you're not aroused by images, which is the case generally, you're aroused by the idea of sex, you're aroused by the idea of you having sex, you're aroused by fetishes, friction. But if you're not aroused by those things, you don't get an erection unless a woman gives you herself. There's nothing arousing. There's nothing interesting. It doesn't create genuine circulation in you. So when a woman relaxes, then she presents herself. And then there's a form of connection. This is all done, well, it's subtle, but it's very palpable. You feel it, you experience it. It allows the energy to start to circulate, and a form of creative potential starts to be put in motion. And as a man, that's I don't know, prize. It's a gift. I take it, I receive it as a gift. Because I was man enough to provide for her the necessary resources or elements so that she can relax. In return for the gift of relaxation, she gives me, presents me, let's say, I would like to say she presents me herself, but that's a big thing, and generally women are not able to present her whole self, but part of herself or the beginning of herself, and then the relationship can grow and expand, and she can relax more, and then she can present more of herself or give herself to you. And that's the gift. Now, the symbol of a woman giving herself to you is a vagina. Because the vagina represents the receptacle, doesn't it? Literally, it's a crucible. So that's the symbol of a woman giving herself to you as a man, the vagina. But the vagina without the woman is it's nothing. It's just soft tissue held up and by ligaments, and that's it. It's nothing. You could technically get some kind of soft towel and use it and make yourself believe it's a vagina. Some men do that. So a man who's not necessarily in relationship with himself, doesn't feel the woman, is not interested in that dialogue, but still in the upside down world, what is he looking for? He wants an external marker that the woman has submitted herself to him, which means the vagina. That's the whole game. Being a player and trying to get notch counts and banging a woman, what's it for? It's to prove that you're a man, and your manhood is proven by the fact that you got pussy, because pussy represents or represented once upon a time a woman giving herself to you, and a woman would give herself only to a real man. But all you have now today, if you're able, because a lot of guys are not, for whatever reason, is the external symbol of it, which is like a vagina. But the vagina is worthless. It's got value only in your mind. I'm talking to men, only in your mind, because you're aroused by your fantasies and you're aroused by the idea of yourself being a man. But there's nothing there. She's not there. She's not available. She has not presented herself, and maybe she's pretending to present herself, just like you're pretending to be interested. She pretends to be present. Anyways, all this to say, the reward as a man, and in order for a woman to present herself to you, I'm talking about when you're sober, right? Sober relationships, not drunk, that can give you the impression that you're relaxed. No. It takes an investment of time, energy. You have to get to know each other for some time. And the woman has to find a space of comfort where she slowly relaxes. And here's the catch. This is 2022. And your modern man and woman are pretty fucking traumatized and fucked up. So when she is going to start to relax, guess what's going to emerge? Toxins, troubles, anxieties, emotional overbearing, trauma, dare I say. It's what it is, right? What's hidden is going to emerge because she relaxes and she puts her defenses on. She puts her defenses down, so the shit that's in the way now has to express itself. So you as a man now have to be able to hold it down. So that's your first test. Can I hold it down? So that's a real shit test. So some of you guys will understand what I mean. That's a real shit test. Can you handle her intensity in that way? And a lot of times you'll get uncomfortable because you don't understand it. You can't stay stable in her turmoil. You can't stay, you're scared. Because it's a form of chaos that you're unaccustomed to, and you're going to try to intellectualize it because you can't muster the intensity that comes through her. You failed your test. She may find some kind of artificial stability, but you will not be granted access to her. She's not going to relax, in other words. Or she'll artificially relax because she's held herself up in the mental, intellectual frame you've presented because you're so understanding and you've explained things to her, and that changed anything really, right? So, the gift a woman offers a man who's able to provide for her the necessary circumstances, resources, context, and presence. What you can offer her with all of this is a space where she can rest and relax. And when she rests and relaxes and goes through the process of unwinding, at some point, she appears. Maybe a little bit, but she appears. And that's a gift that she gives you, because now you're in the presence of a small version of a goddess. Because she can only relax a little bit. But as the relationship evolves and matures, and you become more powerful as a man, and she feels that she can relax more, goddess grows, so you're cultivating the goddess, if we can say it like this. Or you're allowing the goddess to emerge. In return for this, well, you'll have to find out what you get. But when you compare such an experience as I'm describing now and the level of bliss that you experience compared to what you traditionally call sex, or friction sex, like I like to call it, or banging a hole, this is like so cheap. I don't really have a point of comparison. It's fake light versus the sun. It's a fake neon versus the moon. You can't even compare it, and unless you've seen the real light, you think this is amazing. But, yeah. But one thing is for sure, when you start tasting real light, you don't ever want to taste this ever again. It's boring. It doesn't mean you can't navigate there and play with these energies. This is what I'm trying to share with you. Sometimes people misunderstand. It's like the world I'm presenting or I'm trying to present to you doesn't exclude anything. Do you understand? It's all encompassing, except you don't get lost and you're not confused by falseness. You don't think falseness is real. You don't identify yourself to falseness. You have access to it. I can buy Nikes and Jordans and dress the way I want. I don't have that limitation. I'm just not identified to it, and I don't think that that's the end all and be all of everything. So use Nike and Jordans as an analogy for materialism or fakeism. Not real. Just so that we're super clear, let's come back to what I was saying and wrap up this little flow. When you as a man are able to fulfill your function, woman is able to genuinely relax. When she genuinely relaxes, she's able to offer her presence. And her presence is, as it grows, the presence of the goddess, which in return offers you gifts. It's the gift of her presence, but the presence starts to sprout, dare I say. You're going to gain knowledge, in other words.